For your salary, you don't necessarily get what you deserve. You get what you ask for. And most of us want to be compensated fairly for the kind of work, competencies, and skills we bring to the table. Unfortunately, most of us are also very uncomfortable handling the salary question or the entire salary negotiation. So, in today's video, I'm going to break down to you a few strategies you can use to evade the salary question in the beginning and get the most fair salary for you towards the end of the process. So stay till the end because I will be sharing all the insights behind the scenes and exact tips you can use with the recruiter or the talent acquisition person when they are screening you out for a process and asking you the inevitable salary question. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Shub Faujdar. I'm a Singapore-based job search strategist and career coach and a former corporate recruiter. If you haven't already, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I release new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday. Tuesday is a very quick weekly tip of less than 2 minutes. And on Thursdays, we will do a deep dive on one specific topic about your career or job search. So let's dive into how do you answer the salary question? Now, before we get into salary negotiation question, please know that for a lot of countries, a lot of legislatures, you are not legally required to reveal your current drawn salary. In fact, the higher you go in levels of management, people don't typically ask you what was your last drawn package because some of this information may be confidential. So I know in a lot of states in the US, you don't have to reveal your current salary. In Singapore as well, there was a debate done in 2020 where the then Minister of Manpower, Josephine Teo, said that candidates are not legally required to reveal their last on salary. Now, it's not illegal for companies to ask that, but you don't have a legal obligation. So I just want you to know that there's nothing like you are required to reveal your current salary. And we are going to use that as a base to focus more on the salary you get for the role you're interviewing for instead of connecting it with the salary you are drawing right now or at your current role, unless you're drawing above market, and then you can always reveal your current salary. Now, before we go to the tips, you may be one of those people for whom money is not important, and that's okay. Even if you have all the money in the world and that's not the main motivation to work, I want you to think about salary negotiation from this perspective. Your salary is not only about the money you take home. It's about the value which a company attaches to a particular role. There's a very different set of expectations from somebody who's making $4,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $15,000 a month, and $25,000 a month. As you grow higher, you get more ownership, more strategic responsibilities, and sense of delivering the work. Whereas when you are drawing the lower salary, your work is more operational, day-to-day, executional. So please do not forget that the level at which you operate changes completely with the level of salary you do. So you want to be compensated fairly for the role you are doing because that will determine how you're valued in the organization as well. So moving to tip 1, refocus the conversation to something else and appeal to their higher values. So if a recruiter says that, look, I would like to know your current salary and your expected salary before we move to interviewing stage, just tell them that, hey, at this stage, I am very interested in understanding the work responsibilities. And of course, the company is more important for me than salary. I believe XYZ is a fair employer and will compensate me fairly for the kind of work I'm required to do. So what we're trying to tell them is salary is an important part, but right now I don't have an idea of what I'm required to do, so it's very early. You may add at the end, I'm happy to get into the salary conversation once I've gotten an understanding of the role from the hiring manager and the key stakeholders. So that's one strategy. The second strategy is for some recruiters, they may say, look, we need to know your salary expectation because I don't want to waste your or my time that we go to further stages and we realize you are way above budget. Fair point. So do agree with them instead of directly being defensive. Fair point. I appreciate you thinking about our time. So I would like to know the budget for this role. Now, you've put the question to them. Most recruiters speak to candidates once the budget has been approved. So they would have an idea of what the range is. And for a lot of my clients, this question just gives them an idea of what the budget is and they can move forward. Sometimes they get the budget which is higher than what their salary expectation is. Now, the idea is not that you overstretch to the budget. That's not something I'm telling you, because sometimes when you're overpaid, you are the first one to be axed when there is restructuring. But when you ask them the budget, now you know what's the range you can play with. Some recruiters may at this point say things like, oh, I haven't got those details with the hiring manager at the moment. I'll speak to him later in the week and only then I will know. Just respond, that's okay. No hurry at this point in time. You can let me know once you know the budget of the role and we can take the conversation forward. Some other recruiters may say it's confidential information of the company. And you, again, agree with them. Look, I completely understand where you're coming from. And honestly, I'm not trying to make this hard for either you or myself, but I'm not very comfortable revealing my current salary. That's also confidential information of my current company. I will be happy to discuss the expectations of the salary once I know what's expected in the role from me. Now, for a lot of cases, this is sufficient. If you are a superstar candidate, you've built good rapport, you've had good conversations so far, most recruiters will back off at this point in time and put you in the process. Now we move to level 3. You've really got a recruiter who's not relenting. And she's like, you know what? You need to give me a number, otherwise we can't move forward. Again, you don't have to give them your current salary number. You can give them a range of the roles you are interviewing for. So here your market research is very important. You need to know what do people typically for this particular role at this level get paid. And you can answer the question by saying, I understand, look, I don't want to get into this back and forth. So let me tell you that at this point in time, I'm actually interviewing for roles between 120 to 140K, or I'm interviewing for roles between 50 to 70K. Whatever your range is, please don't quote your absolute minimum you will expect. Somewhere slightly higher, 5% higher makes sense, because sometimes they may go to the absolute minimum at this point in time. Now, this gives them an idea of what range they're talking about, and that's enough for most recruiters. If they still ask for your current salary, look, the onus is on you. My advice would be, if a company is putting so many hooplas for you to cross, even at the recruiter stage, you need to see whether this is the kind of company you want to go for or not. Also depends on the level you are at. But for most companies, just understanding your expected salary at this stage would work. So I hope this video was helpful to you. It gave you some ideas on how you can handle the dreaded salary question. If you have any other tips, techniques, strategies for handling that question, please do type in the comment. And don't forget, we are releasing our digital course on Art and Science of Networking for job search on 23rd Feb. If you haven't registered already, please do register on the waitlist, where I'm getting inputs from people who are currently doing job search and want to help you at the level you are at. So do register. The link will be down below. Until next week, take care.